Yo, it's Prince is back. Welcome back to Don't Be Shy podcast. And today we've got a very special guest
Shanae.
and we've got.
Naya.
So today, obviously it's a bit different. Obviously we've got two single parents. So obviously we're just going to speak about how it feels being a young parent and being a single young parent. So how does it feel both of you just being a young parent?
I think for me and Naya, we probably have both very different experiences. It's just one of the things, like, it's cool. Like, at the beginning, obviously, I'm sure Naya can agree, it's hard to adapt to, but you get used to it. And to be honest, I'm enjoying it right now. How you feel, Naya?
I'd say the same, yeah. Obviously, when you first get into something different, it's quite a big of a shock, do you know what I mean? But like you said, you adapt. And yeah, I think for me, it's the best thing that's happened to me personally. It's like made me grow as a person, as a man. You got mature, do you know what I mean? So it's a lot of responsibility, but you just got to rise up and deal with it, really.
Yeah, you have to be mature in it when you have a kid at a younger age and you just have to just...
Yeah, I think what Naya says, like, it does make you grow up really quickly. And for me, I've gone so much further than I think I would have gone if I hadn't have become a parent when I did. And it's definitely, I think it's helped me more than be a burden at all at any point. It's really helped me, I think, to be much more than I don't think I would even be here in this position that I am in, luckily, if I didn't have my child when I did.
100%. I feel like different business ventures or work I've kind of done or kind of just like journey of life would have been completely different. I could have had more free time, gone off the rails, done whatever, but I feel like it keeps you on a straight path because you're not just doing it for yourself anymore, do you know what I mean? Like, you've got obviously a responsibility on someone that depends on you, so you do different things and you kind of be more focused, do you know what I mean, on the right things, on your priorities.
So obviously, how does it feel co-parenting as well? Do you know what I'm saying? Feeling like some days you won't have your kid. Does it?
I think especially when you're a young parent and when you essentially grow up with a child, you do form like a real. For me personally, form like a really strong attachment with my child because we've like grown up together essentially. Because I had her when I was 17, so growing with her, I've definitely formed an attachment. So when she's not around, it is sometimes I find myself like wondering when she's gonna get home. Like, I do miss her a lot when she's not with me, but in terms of co-parenting, like. You put your feelings aside when it comes to your child. So no matter the relationship that you might have with the parent, as long as you can co-parent together and your child has two parents that look after and do the absolute best they can, like it's all good. And to be honest, I'm happy that she's happy at the end of the day, and both parents separately, as long as we're both happy, then that's cool. And we both are in much better places than we were before. So like, I'm happy at the end of the day, as long as she's happy.
Yeah, that's the main thing, innit?
100%. I think obviously daughter's happiness is the most important. So I feel like anything you have with the person you co-parenting with, it's got to be beneficial for your daughter. For my thing, it's like we split the time like down the middle. So we do like 3 days, 4 days of the week. So I do have a lot of time with my daughter. I see her a lot of time, but obviously in them days I don't have her. Still talk to her, still FaceTime, and obviously what we do to help each other co-parent and deal with the time, we send each other like videos of our child, so that, like, even though I'm not with her, I can still see what she's doing. Obviously I can still FaceTime, I can still be in contact. So I feel like I don't go a long time without
Contacting your daughter.
Like, I see her basically all the time, and I listen to her, see her grow and everything all the time. So I feel like, as Shanae said, I feel like you got to put your pride aside. Whatever issues you had before, during, when you're trying to co-parent, as long as you can both like come together and make your child happy, then that's the most important thing.
How did it feel like from changing from both of you parenting together to then co-parenting both of you? Was it a big difference as well?
For me, obviously, just in general, when you're coming out of a relationship, most of the time it's going to be difficult. So in that sense, a lot of it was just how I was feeling personally. Like, I was obviously dealing with a broken down relationship and parenting at the same time. But like you say, when you have your child, that's kind of your focus. So that in itself, having to be a parent, and I know that was affecting the way I was being a parent, the way I was coping with, the separation.
Yeah.
But obviously, eventually, you get over it. You move on with life. When you're parenting, that's what you have to do. So you eventually get over it, and when you both, like I say, when you're both happy, that's when it's going to be the best for you. So he's obviously happy. I'm happy now.
And your daughter's happy.
And my child is happy at the end
I think
of
that's
the
the
day.
main
So
thing, innit?
moving on from that, obviously, it makes it move on quickly. Like when you've got a child to focus on,
You can't,
you've got to get over it at the end of the day. You can't just dwell on stuff. So at the end of the day, that's just how it
that's your main
happened.
priority,
That's
isn't
my,
it?
yeah, that's my priority.
Yeah.
So
It's not the
it's
relationship
hard,
with kid,
but,
innit?
you know, you get over it and you do better for your child, and if you can't let stuff affect you with the way you parent. So
What about you?
Nah, same. Obviously, I think when you're with someone and obviously you're together and you got a child, obviously you can kind of do different kind of responsibilities. You can kind of share the load. You know what I mean? I feel like when you then go by yourself, and obviously I'm looking after my daughter 3-4 times a day. I mean a week, sorry, by myself. Obviously, luckily for me, I was really involved when she was young, so I learned how to change a nappy, look after her behavior. Do you know what I mean? Look after her. But obviously, if people weren't really involved, and obviously, like sometimes some dads are not hands on. So when now we would have to have the child by themselves. Obviously, it might be a bit difficult, but for me, like I could cope with it quite well. And obviously, I think it's quite easy once the communication's there and you've got a balance of what each parent need to do. You both kind of have a common goal in like how you want to try and raise the child, and no one kind of veers off from that. I think it's cool.
So what advice would you both give, like, for young people, like if they want to have a kid, like key factors?
I'd say
definitely,
wait till you're ready,
definitely.
me.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, there is really, no matter what position you're at in life, you could be rich, you could have nothing, you could be in a 10-year relationship with someone, or like a 2-month relationship. Like, I don't think there's really any time. You can never say when you're ready or when you're not ready. I just think it's one of them things. If you think you're ready, do it. Sometimes it ends well, sometimes it doesn't. You never know when it comes to having kids.
So you never know when you're ready, really, do you?
You never know. You never know when you're ready. And I think, I would say, like you said, like I would say wait, but at the end of the day, it is what you make of it, really.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't ready, but when I
You have
had
to
her,
adapt, innit?
like that was just like the turning point for me. Like I ended up from then, I did so much. I've come so far in my career personally because of where I was at, and it's probably the best thing that could have happened to me, because I was in and out of like different jobs. I would get bored, but now like I'm in a set career. Like I'm really stable. I have a set home, and everything's just going really well. Like if I haven't had her when I was the age I was, I probably wouldn't be in the position I'm in. But I wouldn't say to people, do that if you want a turning point of your life. But I would definitely say wait. And it's difficult. Be prepared financially, especially when, I don't know about you, but when you're preparing to have a baby, and when they're newborns, you spend so much money, nappies, all the like basic stuff you need. Like it's a lot of money, and nursery is expensive too.
Crazy.
So if you ain't got the money to spend, I would say just don't do it.
So what key factors then would you say, like 3 key factors then for young people? What advice would you give them?
I would just say make sure if you are wanting to have a child and you're young, make sure you have the funds behind you. At least save up some money first beforehand. Make sure you're in a stable job, at least, whether it's not the career you want to be in. Make sure you're in a stable job, and make sure you know who you're having a child with, because you have a child with someone who sometimes you think you're with the right person, you have a child, and that person ends up being the complete opposite of what you think they are. And the worst, because when you have a child with someone, that's 18 years.
It's for life.
It's for life, not even 18 years, for life, innit?
Of
Just
commitment, and then for life you have a lifetime attachment with that person. And if we're thinking from how the child has to deal with that, they're the ones that are affected the most. You as a parent, you don't have to deal with that person if you don't really want to, but that child
will always have to deal with it.
is always going to be a part of that person's life. So you really need to make sure you know who you're having a child with. And it's just one of them things, like you never know who you're with until things really get real. But
Yeah.
you just gotta be careful.
People's like
really
true colours kind of come out there in situations.
What do you think then, Naya?
I just think when you're talking about when like wait till you're ready and kind of thing, I think you're never ready, because I feel like there's a lot of hidden things or things you'll never experience until you actually are a parent. You know what I mean? Like people can kind of describe it to you, kind of try to give you like the lowdown before, try to give you advice, but until you actually get in that situation where you're at the hospital and someone said, you're now a dad, now a mum, do you know what I mean? that feeling and that kind of experience, you're not gonna understand it till it happens. You know what I mean? So I feel like you're never gonna be ready. When I said wait for you ready, I feel like what Sinead was saying, it's more like financial. Make sure you got a good support system with your family. Obviously, some people don't, unfortunately, but you got some kind of backing and you know what you kind of want to do. But I feel like actually dealing with the responsibility of being a parent, I feel like you kind of only understand that when you get to that situation. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like, obviously, I feel like you need a good support system. I feel like for me, that's helped me a lot. Like guidance from like my dad. Obviously, my mum always being there, my nana. Do you know what I mean? Brothers and sisters. But unfortunately, some people don't have that, and a lot of
Yeah.
people are single parents, but literally by themselves. So it must be tough.
You gotta give them.
Gotta give them the credit, innit?
It's very hard.
100%.
Even
So-
with a support system, it's really hard. So I can't imagine having
No
nobody
one,
and how hard
exactly.
that'd be, because it's really hard. Even having 100 people around you, it's still hard.
Even when you were saying, Sinead, like you said, like obviously the best thing that's ever happened to you, and it's kind of like improved your life in so many ways. Do you feel like there's loads of people that it does like the opposite to, because they can't, like, do you know what I mean, handle the
Yeah,
pressure?
I mean,
'Cause
like,
it's a
yeah,
lot of pressure.
sometimes people deal with pressure in different ways. Like, some people, they'll fold and
Yeah.
can't deal with it. Like, I've seen mums who have kids and it's too much for them, and it ends up, especially like with young parents, and it ends up being like the grandparents' responsibility, or you know whatever the
Like put them
case
up for
may be.
adoption or something
Yeah,
like that.
like it's like I say, it is a difficult thing, but like I said, you know, everyone deals with pressure differently. Like, it's either gonna
Make or
excel
break you, innit?
Yeah,
Make or
yeah.
break you, yeah.
It can go one or two ways, really. Like,
So obviously yours is a 5 year. Like from the time you have you changed a lot in the 5 years? Then do you feel like
yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know about now, obviously, but it's been like 3 years since I became a single parent. And at the beginning, like, I don't know about your experience, but like, obviously I was still young. Like, I had it when I was 17. Obviously, I'm nearly 23 now, so as you can imagine,
Yes.
from
you
them
grow.
ages
That's
a big
anyways,
growth,
like,
yeah.
without having a kid, you grow so much. And I found it really difficult at the beginning when we first broke up. You know, when you're doing like your little petty stuff and like just being argue about everything. Like, I was like that, and I'll hold my hands up. Like, I was really like petty and just angry from being a single parent. But when like time goes on, like I've matured a lot in the sense that, like I say, as long as my child's happy, then I don't need to be bothered about the relationship that us as parents have. As long as the relationship is there
child.
with her and her two parents. Like, I see it as, you know, if he finds someone and he's happy with someone, and I find someone and I'm happy with someone now, that's just exactly how it is now. We're both happy at the end of the day, and we don't
Yeah,
have to be
facts.
best friends. As long as my child is happy, she gets to see her dad literally every day anyways. And it's all good. And as long as you're both great parents, like, he's a great parent, and I myself can say I'm a really good parent. So I don't think it definitely do change a lot, especially when you're a young parent. I don't know how old you were when you had
I was 21, me,
21.
so a bit
still,
older.
yeah, still young,
Still
young to have a
young though,
baby,
yeah, still young. And obviously, with my career and what I was doing, like football wise, I was a bit everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
living in Scotland, being here in England, obviously, because football is like unpredictable. Do you know what I mean? Team
Yeah.
could want you here, want you there, everywhere. So, obviously, at the beginning, when she was first born, after like 6-7 months, I obviously had to go back to Scotland for football. So it was difficult, like commuting. I was trying to come back like every weekend to see her. All that was hard and all that stuff. So I feel like once I come back, and obviously I was like a single parent now, and obviously I felt like it was good for me, because it's like I missed out a lot of time of just me and her. Do you know what I mean? Because every time I'm coming back, it might be like at my mum's house or with my missus at the time. So when I come back and I was a single parent and I had time, I just made sure it was just me and her, and we created our own bond. And then now it's like she's like a little best friend, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you just go do stuff together, because she's 2 now, so she knows everything. She's talking, she's walking, she's chatting.
talk as much as you?
More than me. Thanks for that though. But nah, she's cool, man, and obviously she's so intelligent, so clever, and I just love like having my like input in like how she's growing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like teaching her new things, seeing her develop. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. So obviously I feel like kids are always a blessing in it at the end of the day. So
Definitely.
gotta cherish the moments.
Got one more question. It's just all right. How does it feel dating as a single parent at a young age? Like it, yeah.
I think for me it's a bit different to Naya because I don't know about how Naya's going on with his relationship status at the moment.
You know how Naya's like.
What am I like?
You know how you're like.
This is a serious one and you're trying to get on to me.
Well, for me, obviously, like I'm in a happy relationship now, and I think I'm pretty certain. I mean, obviously, it's not my business, but I'm pretty certain her dad is in a stable and happy relationship too. So I see it as obviously dating as a parent in general is hard because I'm one of those parents. Like I do feel a little bit guilty when I'm not like when I'm having fun away from my child, but like when I'm out and doing stuff. Sometimes I see it as like it's unnecessary time away from her. Like I went on like a few dates here and there beforehand, and I kind of gave up just like just like focusing on myself and focusing on being a parent and what I've got going on. And to be fair, I feel like the right person you meet when you're not expecting to meet, and it was just one of them ones where it was just like an instant thing, and I went on dates here and there, but never really like anything.
You feel like
solid.
there's additional pressure, like when you're speaking to someone coming out and saying, "Right, I've got a kid."
Well, I feel like I know now you probably agree. Like at this age that we're at, and like a lot of people have kids now anyway, so it's not really like a huge thing to come out and say to someone. Like my boyfriend has a son as well, a child as well. So in that sense, it was easy. But I feel like the pressure for me more so lied on the fact that I need to find, if I'm gonna be with someone or if I'm gonna be dating someone, it needs to be someone who I'm 100% certain about, like it's gonna stick around. Because especially as a mum or as like the primary parent, so to speak, my child obviously lives with me, so if someone's going to be coming around and eventually is going to meet my child, it needs to be the right person, because I don't believe in, everyone can't meet my child, everyone can't be around my child. So for me, that was the most important thing, to make sure that this person is going to be around and stick around. And someone 100%. That, like I say, he has a son already, and he's a good dad, so I didn't feel like any type of way. When I knew it was the right time, it was the right time, and he's really good with my daughter as well, and they have a good relationship as well. So for me, like, I'm happy.
What about you, Naya?
Actually, I was saying, like, I feel like you got to make sure it's the right person. I think after you become a single parent, you need your time to focus on yourself. You do need that time, like, as we were saying, you need to get your career in order. You gotta make sure you're stable and all that stuff. They're the priorities. Finding someone, like she said, I feel like it's better when you're not actually out there looking. Because you might find the right person in the most, like, you're not really thinking about it in circumstance. You know what I mean? When you're not really supposed to even be there, it might just happen. It might just be, you might go out for a drink, you meet someone, you're not going out to date. Do you know what I mean? Me personally, right now, I'm just in a phase where, why are you smiling? I just smile for no reason, bro. I'm just in a phase where I feel like I'm not really ready for no one yet, because I just want to make sure that I'm good, my daughter's good, my family's good. I don't really want to be serious with anyone. I had a really long relationship with the mother of my child, 4 or 5 years on and off. It's like, for now, I just want to just do me and keep mine good, you know what I mean?
Do you have anything else to say, both of you? Or is just anything to add?
Just don't have kids for a long time.
Yeah. Make sure you're ready.
Yeah, be settled. Yeah. Even get married first. Not that that's like
man. Let's go back to the traditional route, man.
Yeah, I said that I don't.
If you like, you put a finger on, put a ring on it.
I want to get married. I want to get married.
Yeah, I don't want to have another child until I'm married.
I hear it.
I've said that to my boyfriend. Like, I don't want to have another child unless I'm married.
I need someone to propose to me.
You? Why?
I need someone to propose.
So you want him to put a ring on this finger? Yeah.
The man gets a ring too, you know.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't you want him to put a ring on your finger?
Yeah, I can switch it up a bit.
Yeah. So you want her to go on the knee?
Yeah.
You heard what I said?
Yeah, man. I'll get married. Like, don't know this. I'm done with all that. Just with anyone kind of thing. Not nice.
Not that that's like the be all and end all, but like I just feel it adds that little bit more, that little
special. I
security.
think I think when you're married, obviously, I feel like that's why it was supposed to be like, you get to know each other, you get married, obviously you get courted back in there. That's what it's called when you come and like address a woman, court her, marry her, then you have a baby, because that's how it's supposed to be. So when you get married and having a baby,
me, I don't think I'll have it, man. I don't know about kids. See, my little brother and sister kind of put me off having kids anytime soon.
That doesn't sound good.
Why?
Why did your brother and sister put you off?
Because it's like too much responsibility. I don't know how you two do it. Like, just too much responsibility. Like, my mum asked me to babysit at times. I don't really like babysitting. I'm saying? I don't mind it from time to time. But nah, I like
I've
having a
seen
kid.
you though. You've took your mum and sister and my daughter to like the play thing with
But
the
that's-
zoo. But
I feel like it's
good.
alright though when you can give the kids back.
Yes,
point.
that's what it
See,
is.
I don't mind looking after other people's kids because I can give them back.
Yeah. As soon as they start crying a bit too much, a bit
There
too
you go. You know what I'm
noisy.
saying? Like after that day, you had to go home, and if when your kid woke up, you still have to, baby. You know what I'm saying?
What, you out?
me, just mum. Then yeah, you know what I'm saying? Mum,
Yeah.
take your kids back. And yeah, but yeah, just it was nice having you both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that was a really good talk, man. Very
Thank you.
insightful.
Well, thank you for today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Prince out.
Shanae out.
Okay, no.
Out.
You do my thing? Out. Yeah. That was it.